Whether you're a big basketball fan or not, you probably heard about the indefinite suspension handed down to Warriors star Draymond Green after hitting Yusuf Nurkic in the face. The suspension was, in part, the league's way of putting their foot down and saying no more after seeing years of the same type of behavior from Draymond Green without much improvement. Fans, commentators, and other players are all in agreement that something is wrong inside. Over the last few years, he has hit players, punched players, including teammates, kicked players, tackled players, elbowed players, pulled players' jerseys and arms, strangled players, pushed players, stomped on players, poked players in the eyes, threw the ball at players, gotten into verbal altercations with refs and other players, and as a result has received fines, technical fouls, suspensions, and ejections. But with this suspension, he is not allowed to return until he has had sufficient counseling and the league feels that he has made enough progress. But something just got me to thinking about all of this. I understand that love and passion for the game can bring out aggression and intense emotion, but what is it that makes Draymond Green turn into, for lack of a better word, a monster when something goes wrong in the game? What is it that makes him have these unnecessarily rough tussles at the flip of a switch? It could be issues that he's dealing with that the general public don't know about, but is it something deeper? With that being said, we're going to look at characteristics of demonic possession from the Bible and from scientific research, and compare them with Draymond Green to see if it's fair to say that he is in fact demon-possessed. Merrill F. Unger defines demon possession as a condition in which one or more evil spirits or demons inhabit the body of a human being and can take complete control of their victim at will. So in general, someone who is demon-possessed loses control of what they say and do, and possibly what they think and feel as well. Let's take the Nurkic incident. Draymond Green apologized, saying he didn't intend to hit Nurkic. He lost control of what he did. Another characteristic is disintegration of one's personality. Checking out this footage from a game against the Cavaliers, Draymond switches between a variety of emotions and personalities. You saw he dribbled the ball up the court real peacefully, but as soon as Donovan Mitchell provoked him, the hood came out. In this clip, you also see the symptom called ecstatic episodes. Even though he was ejected from the game, he's clapping and smiling. Same reaction happened in the game against the Grizzlies. Even though he was ejected, he ran around the court real happy and then skipped off. Another characteristic is unusual physical strength. Check out this quote from an article done by Bleacher Report. He worked his way up from a guy who couldn't be trusted to dribble or shoot into the all-star he is now. Even still, he can barely bench press 235 pounds, yet in the heat of competition, he summons power from somewhere that allows him to stand up to and often push around the biggest, baddest dudes in the league. So even though his bench press numbers are fairly low, that's not important because the demon makes the person stronger. So let's focus on the last part of that quote. He summons power from somewhere, and that is what gives him the unusual physical strength symptom. So one possible example of this is when he bear hugged and tackled Terrence Mann of the Clippers. Another characteristic is bizarre behavior. Let's take a look at this clip in a game against Houston. What happened is pretty funny, but also bizarre. He ran the whole length of the court twice in 10 seconds just to run into another player. Another characteristic is outbursts of rage. Let's check out this clip. This is leaked footage from a Warriors practice a few years ago. Focus on Draymond Green, as the video pointed out, and then Jordan Poole, who is in the gray jersey. They're teammates, but he punched him. They got into a little argument, and as soon as Jordan Poole provoked him, the extreme rage came out. Another characteristic is extreme aggression. I understand that players do certain things to prevent opponents from making shots, but what he did to Kawhi Leonard in this play is uncalled for. pulled his whole arm down. That's pretty dangerous. Another characteristic is seizures. According to the Warriors Talk, an independent news and media outlet for the Golden State Warriors, Draymond Green said that he took seizure medication until he was 28 years old. He's 33 now. He also said that he once had a seizure when he was young that lasted over an hour. And if you look back at this moment from a few years ago in a press conference, Draymond Green's face just freezes for about 20 seconds. So you could argue that this is an absent seizure. And we could also call it the bizarre behavior symptom that we mentioned earlier. As soon as his teammate said his name, he just all of a sudden unfreezes. Another characteristic is melancholy and depression. While they don't say depression specifically, there are numerous articles that talk about Draymond Green's journey with mental health. Here's one example, quoting what Draymond Green said after he punched Jordan Poole. That day that took place, I was in a very, very bad space mentally. As a leader of this team, I needed to have a better feel for myself and just know and understand where my wit's end was and what could possibly push me the wrong way. Frankly, I didn't handle that well, and I failed as a leader. I failed as a man, and I failed as a leader. I like to keep my emotions to myself, but what I do want to change and what I do want to work on is how they end up coming out, and how do you let them out without them coming out in a way you ultimately regret. And this is one I sincerely regret. There are not many things in life I regret. So all that definitely seems to embody the definition that we talked about since the beginning: losing control of what you do. Another characteristic is moral depravity. Like many other players in the league, Draymond Green is no stranger to clubbing and partying and drinking. One of his club visits in 2016 led to an assault and arrest, and it was reported that his blood alcohol level was .10. There are many other characteristics of demon possession. I don't know enough about him to connect these to him, but I wouldn't put some of them past him. In any case, the list of symptoms that do match with Draymond Green is fairly substantial. So while he may be dealing with issues and mental health, there could very well be some demonic influence inside of him causing all of these dirty plays and controversial moments. Another basketball star, Charles Barkley, once infamously said in a commercial, "I am not a role model." So choose your role models wisely, for he or she could very well be a demon.